Hey there, today I'm going to go over the top 5 reasons why I love Marvel Crisis Protocol, which could also be the top 5 reasons why you and your friends should jump into the game if you haven't already. My name is Nate, and welcome to the Gamers Guild. Almost a year ago exactly, I made a quick video about the 5 reasons why I was excited for Marvel Crisis Protocol. And well, now it's been a year, and I am still excited for the future of this game as the X-Men are on the horizon with some classic Jim Lee sculpts and even alternate heads and poses. The Defenders have just been released today with Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider, then Daredevil, Punisher, Kingpin, and more are coming out next month. So while I could easily talk about some of the reasons I'm excited about this game's future, and who knows, maybe that is a future video, I really want to talk about my experiences with MCP that I've already had in hopes of anyone who's listening and is on the fence to give the game a try. Or maybe this can just load you up with some ammo to convince your friends to get into the game. At the very least, let you demo it for them to get them hooked. Because I really think that this game, and subsequently this community, deserves to keep growing. And that community, meaning you, if you are watching this, is the first reason I love this game. Let me be the first to say, COVID sucks. And because of the several conventions, hobby nights, and organized playdays that have disappeared for the time being. Thankfully, none of that has managed to stop the growth of this awesome community. It has been amazing to see people's first paint jobs, or maybe even their kids' first paint jobs, and have the community share their love and some tips about the hobby with them, as well as all of the amazing paint jobs and conversions people have thrown out there inspiring others. Not even to mention the different tables and boards people have shared that I myself would still love to get a game on or two, like the Helicarrier or the Savage Lands. And something that I have personally been skeptical of are some of the relationships that can be formed online through a community like this, and, well, until this one. There are several people I have never seen or met that I would love to go out and grab a pizza with at a convention just by the interactions and chats I've had with them online. Not to mention a few of the people that I've had on the channel for battle reports are people that I have met on the Facebook page from a couple hours away. Then there are the people from overseas that I've met and interacted with. As well, there are all the other content creators, the various podcasters, painters, and other YouTubers that help shape and encourage the community. So I guess all of this to say, there's a really cool community here, and if you aren't a part of it yet, go and check out the Facebook page, official or otherwise, and say hi, because as with most things, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. I would be remiss if I didn't go ahead and thank the members of the Guild Hall when talking about awesome communities. Your support is the highest form of praise I can accept, and it is always awesome to hear your thoughts about the game. There are a couple of things I'm really excited to start doing with Patreon and the Guild Halls starting later this month, so if you want more info on any of that, keep an eye on the Facebook page, and if you're a longtime viewer and have enjoyed the content put out by this channel and want to be able to help support it, I would be humbled if you went and checked out the link down in the description. While I could probably continue to gush about you and the community for another couple of minutes, I should probably talk about the actual game some too. With that in mind, the second reason I love this game and why it's worth taking a dive into is the rules. I mean, first of all, they are free, which is great. Recently, I've taken a plunge back into the grimdark future where the core rulebook alone is $60, not to mention the different supplements for your own faction, or the additional books for extra missions or fancy new powers. Marvel Crisis Protocol's rules are free, and anything you need to play with certain figures and characters come with them in the box with their model. Additionally, there have been free events and different game modes posted up on AMG's website, well, for free as well. This includes their Infinity Clash event, which they posted online for Gen Con, as well as the 2 Ultimate Encounters with Ultron and Hulk, which are like 2v1 boss battles, one of which can even be played against an AI opponent. While the rules and all of the extra stuff being free is really cool, it wouldn't really matter if the rules weren't clear or if they just weren't any good. As it is, we have a really tight rule set. What I mean by this is that besides one critique, all of the rules in the online PDF and on the character cards are written and laid out in such a manner that everything is clear enough that if you read everything carefully, you can come to the right conclusion all on your own. Now, of course, there are going to be some interesting rules interactions between different superpowers or tactic cards, where additional clarification is helpful, and thankfully they have that in the form of an FAQ document that is on their site, along with them being quite active on the Facebook page, answering any questions that come up. Not to mention all of the other people willing to help and answer the questions out there. But even without help, most of these interactions can be figured out pretty easily, and the core rules by themselves make enough sense and are clearly defined enough to give them a read through once and start playing. And if anything does come up, it will be easy to find an answer on any of the game's core mechanics. And they are a good set of rules that fit a superhero setting. Characters who are able to throw trees and cars at each other while trying to keep your opponent's villain away from a spider-infected civilian or some cosmic cube fragments. It's all very thematic. One of the other really cool mechanics built into the game is the daze/comeback system. This way, most characters can take a nasty hit and have to take a knee before going on, but any of these dazed characters can't be further hurt or interacted with, so the following turn they will come back injured, but they'll usually have a decent bit of power to let them have some revenge. Which also means all of your characters should have a chance to do something every single game. You aren't going to lose anyone on turn 1, and it's even pretty rare to completely lose someone on turn 2, which is really nice. Now, granted, there will be some rules that you may not like or break your immersion, like how attack ranges and line of sight work with terrain, but these things make for an extremely smooth experience when playing the game, so you don't have to reference any charts or formulas or measure anything at a weird angle. Something that complements these really well-written rules is an extremely well-balanced game, which is my third reason I really like it. Whether you are just wanting to play thematically with the Avengers taking on the Cabal or the Black Order, or if you want to have a highly tuned list with consistency and backup plans, you can do that as well. But as a whole, there is not any one affiliation or character that is too powerful and seen run in every single list. Now, granted, I have done a tier list recently and then did another one with a couple of really good competitive players, which indicates that there is not a perfect balance in the game, and that some characters are going to see more play than others, which is absolutely true. Since we can see anyone team up with anyone else, perfect balance becomes pretty hard to find. It is helped, though, by having powerful leadership abilities tied to characters like Doctor Strange, Captain America, and Red Skull to encourage the like-minded heroes and villains of the Marvel Universe to stay within their affiliation, so even the worst characters in the game have a strong role to play in the game and on the battlefield, which is what makes the game so well balanced. Now, just a heads up, there will be certain plays and attack combos that can catch you off guard the first time or two you play against them, and seem overpowered. I've certainly lost to a Thor who managed to move over halfway across the board on turn 1 before he even activated because it wasn't something I saw coming. But I haven't lost to that trick a second time because my opponent had to spend a lot of resources to make that move happen. And you can have a pretty good idea of how to play and counter these bold and big moves once you've seen them a time or two. So, while I'm sure there are still more things that we have yet to see that will take us by surprise, the playtesters have thus far ensured that nothing too strong has slipped through because there's been no need to errata any character's text or points other than to help clarify how an ability works. And if the game has a great community, well-written rules, and is well-balanced, what more is there to love? And to that I say, well, at least two more things. The first of which is the Marvel IP itself, and of course all of the fantastic lore that comes with it. Granted, for Atomic Mass Games, this means that they have a lot to try and get right about these characters that they are bringing to life on the table. And thus far, they have done a great job at making Black Widow feel sneaky, Thor feel powerful, or MODOK just sound ridiculous with his superpower names. Whether they are taking cues from the movies with some of their team-ups like sibling rivalry, recreating the get help moment, and Captain America's now iconic line, "I can do this all day," or cues from iconic comic themes like Red Skull's use of the cosmic cube slowly killing him when he reaches to it for power. Or Captain Marvel becoming stronger when she taps into her binary form. All in all, it is amazing how much love and thought AMG has put into each of these characters. Doing things like making sure Venom won't trigger Spider-Man's Spidey sense, and giving away for Groot to bodyguard, but only for Rocket, is very thematic for all of these characters. Now, the IP isn't going to appeal to everyone, so this fourth point might be moot. But I feel like the odds are if you clicked on this video, you have at least a little bit of love for Marvel, even if it's just from the movies. But my final reason is one that should appeal to all hobbyists, new and old. Marvel Crisis Protocol is a skirmish game. They will need a maximum of 10 characters, and in some cases even less, to be able to go and play a full game. That's it, which also means that the starter box is enough to get the full experience, and if you wanted to take it to an organized play event, you can. Now really why I love that it's a skirmish game is because there is overall a lot less painting to do, and the games are shorter, meaning I can get 2 games in over an evening instead of just one really long one. And most of all, when I'm painting, it's not 20 of the same little guy. Heck, it's not even usually the same color scheme most of the time, which is extremely refreshing. But that sums up my 5 reasons why I enjoy MCP as much as I do. And I hope that if you haven't gotten a chance to try this game out yourself, that you give it a chance, maybe even a second chance if that first impression wasn't a great one. If you have any questions about the game or about any of my other videos, please feel free to shoot me a message or an email at one of the links down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep on gaming.